Back here in the United States, the Trump administration is weighing a dramatic shift in how federal student loans are handled. In a move that could impact about 45 million Americans, sources, including Reuters, say the administration is quietly exploring whether to sell off the federal government's massive student loan debt portfolio to private companies. NewsNation's Alicia Nieves joins us from New York with the very latest. Alicia, the rain behind you could portend how dreary that could be for some borrowers if that money is shifted. Tell us about it.
Yeah, good morning, Nick. I mean, this is an idea that has been circling within the administration for several months, according to multiple sources, and it's now gaining traction because those multiple sources say the plan is basically to shift some of the student loan debt, or at least the management of that debt, from the Education Department to the Treasury Department. And this is really a necessary step under the Higher Education Act. And then that would allow this to be sold off, at least in part, of the $1.6 trillion student loan portfolio to private lenders. Now, the move fits with the administration's goal of shrinking the Department of Education, but it also potentially helps the government's balance sheet under the Trump administration, playing well with fiscal hawks who call student loan debt a government liability that needs to be put back on the market.
It's not uncommon to sell debt that you're worried about or debt that you're not worried about. It's nothing, nobody should be concerned about this. All debt can be assumed by another party. It would be good to relieve the federal taxpayer of that obligation today. If I'm Grant Cardone and I have $1.2 billion, I'm like, I'm willing to buy that debt and then leave it for me to go collect it from those people. That might be a good investment for me. But it would also, the beneficiary would be the federal the taxpayers that have funded all this garbage debt.
Yeah, so we understand, according to multiple sources, that the Treasury Department has run multiple models around a scenario of assuming the government loans or student loan debt and then potentially selling it off to lenders, but no formal timeline. Nothing right now is concrete. There are analysts, though, warning, like with the Brookings Institute, that potentially taxpayers could lose out here if this debt is sold below market value, which is the only way a private lender really would be interested in it, Nick.
And Alicia, I made reference to the rain behind you. What could that mean for student loan borrowers? Would that be bad news?
It potentially is as dreary as the rain is right now for student loan borrowers, because it's going to change the collection methods that they're potentially used to, the payment methods they're potentially used to. You're dealing with going from a government lender to a private lender who is likely not going to be as forgiving when it comes to paying back that student loan debt. And it comes at a time where we have seen the federal government, or at least the Trump administration, get a little more tighter with that, right? Tighter with repayment options, restarting collection, even garnishments on default student loans that were paused during the pandemic. So for borrowers who are concerned about this, you're going to want to pay attention to the restructuring review that's done by the Treasury. It'll be by the end of this year that'll be out. If in that review it is formally made a decision where you should potentially, have this loan move over to the Treasury, then that's when step one. Step two would then be for Congress to, moreover, sign off on it formally. Nick?
Alicia Nieves in New York City with the latest. Alicia, thank you so much.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.